of hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak, make it a quad kill set up by that ET.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nubrak, core at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be Respect the Gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just pulling up everybody here. That's a 4, make it 5
And it
for
does
nothing.
knock them all up. What a play! Oh my God! Somebody please clip that.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Jason, and today I've got a Division A East match coming at you. The BeefBois versus ReGen Phoenix. And while I do not have a proper co-caster, I am joined as always by my lovely cat, Sarah, sitting up here with me. She is just completely asleep, so not going to be much help casting the game, but here for moral support and warmth as always. I do have both of these teams in lobby. Quickly going over the standings here for this match. It is a pretty big match for these teams right now. Both of these teams sitting in that 8-team sort of, or 7-team, sort of bracket where there are 7 teams in A East that have between 8 and 6 points. And right now, ReGen Phoenix actually sitting on the bottom of that pile with 6 points. And so a win for either of these teams can definitely make a big difference as we head into the back half of the season. Currently, ReGen Phoenix having 6 games on the season, and BeefBois only having played, or at least reported, 5. I know they had a busy week here, so we'll see if they have the endurance to make it through what I believe is their 3rd match in a row, or third night in a row having a match here in A East. Huh. Well, Mongoose, I mean, you could come cast with me if you wanted to, buddy. It's never too late. But yeah, she is. She's always with me, even if I have a co-caster already. Oh, but it looks like these teams are ready to go, so I guess it's a little too late to jump in. But either way, let's get into the draft here for game number 1. This is going to be Hanamura Temple, which of course is a very interesting pick by ReGen Phoenix, by the way. BeefBois winning the toss. They called tails, so that means they win. That's how it goes. And then ReGen Phoenix selecting Hanamura. I admit I do not remember their map bans. I apologize for that, folks. They went through it so fast and I didn't write it down. I probably should have, but either way, BeefBois is going to have the first pick, first ban, and on this map, kind of all about trying to get that Sentinel camp, get your Genji out in lane, force the enemy team to rotate to it, try to dominate the map game, much like Volskaya Foundry. The objective can kind of wait here. There's quite a long, in that case, channel time to be able to get the control point. But here, pushing that payload can take a while, even with the maximum number of people on there to speed it up. So you can kind of always have chance to do the side soak thing, get your camps, get those turrets in particular to come to the fight. Vision camps here, of course, also very influential in terms of keeping track of where your opponents could be. As we see Gazlo Jimmy, the first band's out here. Gazlo, of course, his rise to power with this new rework. Lesser known fact, Gazlo, the new leader of the Goblin people in World of Warcraft right now, took over for Trade Prince Gallywix. Just a little WoW lore to throw at you from the lore books. But Diva and Anna are going to be banned out here. Diva also on that same rework, so right now BeefBois is not wanting to see any of the new stuff.
Victory for the Forsaken.
Sylvanas picked up here. See, I'm pretty glad to be casting here tonight myself, instead of feverishly attempting and most likely failing to log into World of Warcraft with their brand new Shadowlands pre-patch content right now. But NGS is here to keep me sane rather than frustrated, and I appreciate that very much. Arrow and Recycling gonna pick up here Artanis and Lucio. Artanis, of course, very good at taking these camps, particularly one of the few heroes that can 1v1 the Sentinel camp early. So he could be a pretty good tool to have on this map. Lucio, of course, going to be able to help ReGen Phoenix dictate the pace of these fights, being able to help engage or disengage. Johanna and Gul'dan being picked up on the other side. Tribulation, of course, being able to hold down that front line with Johanna. The blinds on Artanis are going to be very good. And Root Beer Guy constantly going to be able to put the damage out with Gul'dan. It is countered a little bit by the Lucio. The AoE damage that Gul'dan brings, Lucio is pretty good at dealing with that. Kind of same with the Sylvanas and the Shadow Dagger, though she does have a more single target focused auto attack build that she could elect to take here. Sonya banned out on the other side, so ReGen Phoenix already having Artanis for the solo lane. Gonna cancel out one of the best camp takers still available to the BeefBois in that Sonya ban. And last ban going to BeefBois is going to be Mei. So wanting to avoid the blinds on the other side from Mei, and just the general control that she gives on this map can be kind of difficult to deal with. Phantoms, what's up? Tuning in to catch our old buddy Rabid playing for ReGen Phoenix, I expect. Do I have a sound suppressor for Crying Baby? No, I do not. Definitely not. So, yeah, probably for the best if you got that Crying Baby on your hands right now. So that's, I think that's fair. We got Rabid picking up Greymane here, and Mudge gonna take Garrosh, so they're trying to isolate a hero here. Meanwhile, Tracer gonna pick up the Leoric. That's gonna get nice and confusing up top. Lunara picked up here for Derrybow. In response to maybe that Lily healing, you know, other than Cups, not really huge AoE healing capability for Durkadurk here on the Lily. Which my understanding was that, well, no, you know, I got that wrong in my mind. I take it all back. But we do have an interesting comp to pair with the Garrosh here for ReGen Phoenix. Typically, you want really good CC to be able to follow up that Garrosh toss into the Groundbreaker. And, you know, ReGen Phoenix does kind of have a pseudo version of that idea, at least, with the ability for Recycling to be able to boop them back with the Q and keep them isolated, along with both Lunara slows and the Greymane burst damage to put on top of it. But still, I do think it puts a bit more of a burden of execution than what would be necessary. By the way, we'll have to see how it turns out here as we head into game number 1. On the left, we've got the BeefBois, Durkadurk playing the Lily, Tribulation on that Johanna, Root Beer Guy on the Gul'dan, Smort Killer going to be playing the Sylvanas, and up top we've got Tracer on Leoric. On the right, ReGen Phoenix, we've got Derrybow playing the Lunara, Rabid Penguin on the Greymane, Mudge going to be playing the Garrosh, Recycling on the Lucio, and Arrow going to be playing the Artanis.
3, 2, 1.
Big match for both of these squads. An opportunity for the BeefBois to launch themselves up above the rest of the teams, really vying for what is essentially playoff contention. 2 out of those, it's highly likely that 2 out of those 7 teams that are currently nearly tied for those spots could end up not making the playoffs here. So if either team can get a win here, it gives them a big boost in terms of securing themselves a playoff spot on the back half of this NGS Season 10. Up top, Tracer getting some good progress here against Arrow. Of course, a lot of Arrow's sustainability on the Artanis is going to come once those shields become available. Meanwhile, Mudge tossing Tribulation away, and they target down Smork Killer, and that is Sylvanas down. Speaking of lore, Greymane going after Sylvanas, that's very topical. Oh, and look out. Already Arrow has started this camp, and with Sylvanas not available, it's going to be difficult for them to contest. Sylv is coming back. She is nearly here, but the toss from Arrow sends Tribulation away, and that's going to be a nice steal for ReGen Phoenix early. Very well played, good macro, and you see why ReGen Phoenix wanted to take us here. Clearly, they have the grasp on this map as Arrow going to be able to go up and now solo this camp, but Psychic going to come up and help, not even going to risk it. Rabid Penguin also joining them just to clear it a bit faster. While BeefBois is going to look to get a little bit of extra vision on this map here with this vision camp. Level 4 is coming in pretty quickly for both squads. Slight XP lead for ReGen Phoenix. The camps here are worth a little bit more XP than on the other maps. Tribulation is going to scout out Arrow on this map. He's going to, or on this camp rather. But it looks like right now they are just focused on clearing the Sentinel, which is a pretty big deal. About a half-level lead right now for ReGen Phoenix as we head into the first payload. Turret already grabbed for ReGen Phoenix, so they also currently have an item advantage. Can be easily picked up for BeefBois whenever they want to get theirs, but the timer is already ticking on that bottom camp. They will be able to have their second turret available quite a bit quicker. As we'll see ReGen Phoenix going ahead and converting the recon camp. Getting themselves vision now over the entire middle of this lane. All 5-man on this point. And again, Tribulation just tossed away. Mudge is just saying no to Johanna rather than tossing them in, which of course is kind of what garages are built to do and trained to do. Doing a nice job instead of counter zoning. This time tosses him in though. Iron Skin gonna have to be popped to avoid that groundbreaker. And for now, ReGen Phoenix is gonna drop back a bit. They are more of a pick heavy comp, so if they miss that pick opportunity, they just pop the speed on Recyclic and back up. Meanwhile, they do get the flip onto Root Beer Guy. He's gonna go down. That's the first kill for ReGen Phoenix. Well, second kill of the game, but first here in this phase. This will allow them to secure the payload and get whatever the shots will do here. Not a huge amount of shots, but oh, look at Mudge once again is going in on this camp, and they're not going to let it leash. They kind of backed off it. Now Mudge again does have the zoning potential. Camps throw Tribulation away once this point. So yeah, there it is. Over the wall. Goodbye. And now Lily gonna get taken out there by Rabid Penguin. Rabid still charging in on Tribulation. And Recyclic once again gonna hit the speed and get ReGen Phoenix out of here as they are playing this map to perfection here in the early game. 3-0 on the kill count. And their macro is pretty impeccable. Look at Tracer, though, with the Gladiator's Medallion. Gonna avoid that flip from Mudge. Keep himself alive. Looks like, once again, ReGen Phoenix gonna grab their Sentinel camp. Getting these camps on cooldown is pretty influential on this map. You can see the XP advantage. Oh, look out. Once again, Tribulation isolated here, but it's not really the target you want to try to blow up. As you see, they're able to potentially make it out here. Tribulation is still running, and they're still chasing this kill. They'll get Sylvanas instead, but Tribulation falls shortly after. Tracer on the flank gonna have to Wraith Walk out of there, but while they've been fighting down here, the Sentinel camp is making its way towards the fort front wall here in the top lane. Tracer gonna have to try to deal with this on very little health. Gotta be careful of that Sentinel's ability to swipe. And while down bot, ReGen Phoenix gonna take advantage of the kills, the death timers, and the answer up in the top lane. Meanwhile, Arrow kind of playing a little bit of a dangerous game, but they pretty much have eyes on where the members of BeefBois are. Steal away that camp. Get himself a turret for later. Camp going to be secured down bot, but level 10s are now in for ReGen Phoenix. They're going to speed their way on down to their turret. Interesting. A bit of a scouting suppression pulse there for Arrow. Wanted to see if BeefBois were on it, potentially slow down their damage to try and get them there fast enough to grab it. And once again, look at the camp priority, the macro play. On point for ReGen Phoenix. They've got level 10. Nothing BeefBois can do about them taking this camp. They can answer a little bit in top lane, though. But look at, the macro. That's just going to allow BeefBois to push with the Sentinel camp. And BeefBois realize that this is just not going to work out. So they're going to back up and defend the Sentinel. So, ReGen Phoenix will back off and grab the Vision Camp, maybe look at the payload. Level 10's now in for BeefBois. They are looking for some kind of engage here. And once again, camp priority. Tracer is slowly pushing this payload in the right direction. Oh, but look at a little late on the invade rotation, but they are here now. Sound barrier comes down, and Lily is going to be blown up before the Horrify can come out. Another big pick for ReGen Phoenix. 6-0 right now on the kill count. They did burn one of those, but look at Recycling popping the speed, getting ReGen Phoenix into position to get another couple of kills here. Tracer is going to have to Wraith Walk away. Oh, but Recycling's not going to let him go for free. Misses the spooky hand. And that is going to be another kill. ReGen Phoenix going to look to push this payload back. Push along with the Sentinel camp up top. Ladies and gentlemen, Hanamura Temple. I think this is why most teams don't like to play it. Once the team gets rolling here, it's very difficult to have any kind of comeback potential. Yeah, Mongoose is on point there. Just putting on a clinic right now as ReGen Phoenix. This is a game that you could put up on YouTube as a map guide for how to play this map, for sure. Tribulation gonna stall this out a little bit. Mudge maybe looking at tossing him away there, but that's gonna be the payload and the shots going over. This will take out probably most, if not all, of this front wall and well. Probably won't put much, if any, damage on the keep. Like, yeah, one shot will go to the keep directly. Oh, and Tracer caught out up top. While the rest of the members of BeefBois are trying to steal this camp. Arrow is going to make it. Suppression Pulse comes in. As Root Beer Guy trying to back, but is going to abandon the plan to back as Darabao jumps in with that leaping strike, and we're going to see Smart Killer isolated and taken down here. Sound barrier and speed popped here for Recycling. As long as they got that barrier up, might as well be on the speed game. Dirk trying to run away on the bottom side, but up top, Gul'dan is going to fall. Mudge continuing to chase Dirk. Gonna go ahead and back. No. No way. So close. Oh, man. Now it's just a chase game. Dirk's gonna back again, and yeah, Mudge realizing there's just no way he's gonna get this kill, so he's just gonna let Dirk go. Again, the macro play. I think most people would just spend forever trying to kill Dirk there. But Mudge just kind of realizing that it's not worth it, or getting called off, either way. Meanwhile, as they get close to level 16 here, they do go ahead and secure that bottom keep. And will rotate up to get their own Sentinel camp once again. (12-0) right now for ReGen Phoenix. Level 13 achieved here for the BeefBois, and this is their opportunity. They've got to find a fight here before level 16s come in for ReGen Phoenix, but it can be pretty hard to force when you do have on the other side that Lucio speed. We'll see Smart Killer thrown away there after trying to dive in, and now they are fighting with this Sentinel in the middle of the fight. Big slash gonna hit at least Tribulation, but now the Horrified trying to zone people away, trying to keep Rupier a guy alive. Tracer not so lucky. That's now gonna be 3 down, and they are on the chase. Are ReGen Phoenix. Dirk gonna get tossed and killed, and that is the full ace here for ReGen Phoenix. They're not even gonna bother with the camp. They've got turrets, they've pretty low death timers, but they've got a lot of damage between Arrow and that amateur opponent build and the pick on Greymane for Rabid Penguin, and they are just going to tear this core apart. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 going over decisively to ReGen Phoenix. GG, well played. Take a look at our match summary screen. And yeah, I mean, the kill count, I think, tells the story for the most part. Sometimes you look at a kill count after a game, and it doesn't really tell you what went on in the game, but this one it did. Just amazing macro, amazing team fighting, just general control, and hard to pick an MVP. Like, all of these guys played incredibly well. Recyclic doing a great job managing the team's health versus their ability, or their need for mobility, I should say. Doing a great job of getting isolations from Mudge, and again, that macro-heavy idea of when to team fight and try to isolate someone versus throwing somebody away to zone for your team. Mudge putting on a clinic on how to play Garrosh, among a lot of other things on that game. And Rabid with 9 kills, and both Darabao and Rabid with pretty solid damage numbers, considering how macro heavy and short this game was. But let's move on to game number 2. We're going to take a short break while we set that one up. We'll be right back here. So game number 2 here in this Division A East matchup. Alrighty, we are back here. Game number 2. We're going to be going over to Infernal Shrines. And this was the map pick for BeefBois. Selecting map off of that game 1 loss. ReGen Phoenix going to have first pick, first ban. A little bit more of a standard map pick here. Infernal Shrines, definitely one of the more popular for as long as I've been playing competitive HOTS and watching. A little bit less snowball-y. For this map in particular, because there's, it is a 3-lane map, and because the map objective is so easily controlled with the ability to bait the Punisher over the wall, easily clear it. I always think of this map of having a certain amount of lives still in your pool, kind of like you're playing Mario. You've got a lot of opportunities to have mistakes until eventually you get down to a certain structure level, and then you just kind of run out of extra lives in the bank, so to speak. So it's much harder to get a quick end here than on a map like Battlefield of Eternity, or even something like a Braxis Holdout, where you got these big giant map objectives that'll really help you push. But here and Tomb of the Spider Queen, a few other maps are just it's not as easy to end. A lot easier for teams to manage that defense and end up stretching the game out longer. Camp's still a pretty big priority here. Macro rotations and XP, along with, of course, the number one thing here being wave clear, especially with these Shrine Monkeys. The Diablo picked up first for Mudge. Diablo, a pretty big premium on this map. I like a point that a co-caster from yesterday, Mongoose, had made. It's good to have incidental AoE damage when you're on these team fights in these shrines. And Diablo's Fire Stomp, I think, is a good example of that. He's obviously putting that out to try and put it on heroes, but if you could pick up an extra Shrine Monkey or two every time you hit that cooldown, it can eventually help you win these shrine fights. And not only win the fights, but win the objective itself when you're fighting on them. But we're going to see Smart Killer stealing away the Greymane here for this match, and since that May was banned out last game from Tribulation, they go ahead and pick it up here before the second ban phase. Meanwhile, Arrow going to take the Gazlo. It's managed to make its way through the first set of bans, so he will pick it up before BeefBois can ban it out this time around. Meanwhile, Recyclic going to pick up Stukov, who very strong on this map as well with his ability to cut off people's rotations in or out of the shrine with that lurking arm. And his ability to get big chunk AoE healing can really help you win these shrine fights. You know, I feel like some of the best healers on this map are the ones that have those bursty heals. Alexstrasza can be very good when she's able to pop her Dragon Queen and just power heal your team through a shrine fight. Stukov, kind of a similar vein where he's not much of a sustained healer, but he'll get you through the 5 to 10 seconds you need be able to set up a team fight win. Meanwhile, Tassadar going to be picked up, or banned out here, I should say, and Lucio banned out for ReGen Phoenix. They don't want to see that go to the other side. Two picks coming up here for BeefBois. What are they going to pair with that Greymane? Greymane, you know, not a terrible hero for clearing these shrines, but he's not really the kind of AoE damage hero you're looking for to be able to clear these out. Falstad does a pretty good job though with his hammer. An Imperious, good frontline bruiser to put up against a Diablo. Diablo jumps way into the back line. Imperious can kind of do that on the other side, or can turn around onto the Diablo. More picks coming up here for ReGen Phoenix. What do we want for the damage dealers? Darabao and Rabid Penguin. Tracer and Tychus coming out here. Tychus going to be able to counter some of that beef that BeefBois have on the other side. Tracer, just in general, a good finishing hero. You know, I kind of put her in the same vein as the Illidan's or Genji's, where, you know, they put out consistent damage, but really their specialty is the mobility, being able to jump around a team fight and put the damage where it needs to go. And the Brightwing going to be picked up here for BeefBois as the healer. I have to see which heroic comes out here for Dirk. Do they want the Blink heal for that extra mobility and a little bit extra healing, or they want the Emerald Wind for the zoning potential? Polymorph can be difficult for Tracer to deal with as well. Could be a reason for picking it here. Let me know what you guys think in chat. who's going to win game number 2. I want to thank everybody for coming out here this afternoon. I will be joining Ban Kai on his stream for his first NGS cast a little bit later. So we will we'll probably try and see if we can save the stream up long enough to host over to his. Kai, if you want to get your pregame scene going after this one's over, I'll be happy to raid over to you. But either way, let's get on in for game number 2 on Infernal Shrines. On the left, we've got the BeefBois. Tracer going to be playing the Imperious. Tribulation on the May. We've got Dirk on the Brightwing. Smart Killer on the Falstad. And Root Beer Guy going to be playing the Greymane. Over on the right-hand side, ReGen Phoenix. You've got Rabbit Penguin on the Tychus. We've got Darabao going to be playing the Tracer. Recyclic on that Stukov. Mudge on the Diablo, and Arrow playing the Gazlo? It's actually not that weird nowadays. It's a very weird meta we're in here with 2020, where first pick, first ban, Gazlo and Diva are a thing. I mean, 2020's thrown us a lot of really crazy, unexpected things, but that I did not see coming. Team's going to clear out mid and rotate to their respective lanes. The normal 4-man rotation mid-bot with the solo lanes up top. Neither team really finding anyone out of position just yet. Uh-oh. Sounds like my co-caster may be having some bad dreams over here. It's okay, you charge in on a Tribulation. Oh no! Tribulation being isolated there. Big overpower, but Dirk going to go ahead and use the teleport to get a little extra healing out to their tank. Arrow up top doing a nice job here against Tracer. But nothing that he can't handle there on that Imperious. Looks like Arrow going to quickly rotate back to grab the Bruisers, as he's pushed in that lane pretty thoroughly. Camp grabbed nice and early for BeefBois down bot. That's going to be pushing the mid, and they're going to send Darabao. Go ahead and clear that out. ReGen Phoenix going to pick up both of their camps on their side here. Meanwhile, Tracer just kind of stalling this out up top. Letting the minions kill each other. Kind of macro play I expect here in Div A. You don't shove that lane on the other side to make it easy to pick up. You let them kill each other in lane, so that XP just gets lost deep in the lane where no one can easily soak it. Arrow is gonna rejoin Tracer up here in the top lane. Oh, look out. Here comes the teleport. With the fly, here's the globals coming in. The poly comes down. Smart Killer up here just for moral support. A big rotation. BeefBois is showing off the strength of their double global comp. That is something I did not tag in the pregame. I apologize. I should have seen that coming, but it did not go full analyst on that one and actually correctly predict it. But yeah, Gazlo. Arrow on that Gazlo. Gonna have to be careful. We'll see if he continues to step out into lane the rest of this game. But meanwhile, 10 early Shrine Monkeys here for ReGen Phoenix as they get ahead a little bit. But now a little bit of a zoning blizzard there from Tribulation. Now taking a ton of poke. The charge in. Good teleport there once again from Dirk, keeping Tribulation alive in this fight. And while both teams poking back and forth, and incidental damage definitely helping both of these teams stack up some of these Shrine Monkeys, as ReGen Phoenix holding about that 10 Shrine lead. BeefBois is poking a little bit more damage though as Rabid Penguin getting low. Tribulation charges in and Rabid's going to have to leave here. Tracer getting low on the other side though, and the first kill is going to go over to ReGen Phoenix here on this shrine. 1-1 now as they finally get a kill on the other side to respond to that gank from earlier. The fly all the way to bot here for Root Beer Guy. He's going to quickly get the soaking going. I would say though that Root Beer Guy is a good tool for trying to clear up here, so we'll have to see how long it takes for BeefBois to clear out this Frozen Punisher. It can be a difficult Punisher to deal with the extra CC that he brings. You know, Tracer hitting that Pulse Bomb onto Smork Killer, he's going to have to back up a little bit here. You know, team's got to try to scatter for all of those frozen circles. They are able to eventually focus it down, though, just the front wall going down for the side of ReGen Phoenix. Nice defense for BeefBois. They even get a little bit of an XP lead off of that quick ability to use their global to soak out the side lanes. Arrow gonna keep an eye on the bottom camp here. No, BeefBois are actually grabbing their siege camp on their side of the map, but oh, look out, Imperious falling to a massive rotation from ReGen Phoenix. I apologize, I missed that one. Dirk looked like he flew up there to try and help. Was unable to get there in time to save Imperious. And I am just missing kills on every side of the map right now. Gotta catch up with these teams. They're rotating faster than I can read the rotations. I guess that's why they're in Div A and I'm not. But we'll see. About an even race to level 10 here from these squads. Teams trading these rotational ganks. Level 10 going to be achieved just a little faster here for the BeefBois, though. They're going to pick up Cursed Bullet along with Mighty Gust. It is the Blink Heal along with Avalanche and Angelic Armaments. There is the Cursed Bullet out onto Mudge. This invasion here for the BeefBois as they're going to grab away the siege camp. Their prize for hitting level 10 first. Meanwhile, up top, Arrow grabbing their Bruiser camp. We get that Shaman camp pushing in the top lane. Taking a little bit early to really be able to counter push against this objective. But we'll help them get that level 10. As we see Grabo Bomb along with the Pulse Rounds, Apocalypse, Flailing Swipe, and Commandeer Odin. Big wave up in the top lane here. Arrow pushing that in on the other side. Something that BeefBois are certainly going to have to answer to. But we'll be able to do. They got pretty solid wave clear. And they've got the global ability to be able to maybe keep somebody up here to push this until the objective. But ReGen Phoenix with a good macro call on the bottom side of the map. Realizing that pressure in the top and are going to push down here on bottom lane. Which is the map where the shrine is activating. So now no front wall for BeefBois. Should ReGen Phoenix be able to pick up this Punisher. Meanwhile, look at Mudge hanging out. No, the rest of the team was not in position to follow up though, so not pushing the issue too hard. Now here comes the full 5v5. That camp is pushing up top. ReGen Phoenix has not answered to it, but we'll see the Grabo coming out. Only one being hit there, only Arrow by that Avalanche, so not enough for BeefBois to really be able to capitalize on isolating anyone. They're about getting a little bit low. Polly comes out, and that's going to be enough to get down the Tracer. This is still a pretty big lead on the Shrine, but now a 4v5 for ReGen Phoenix. Can they still get the incidentals? As BeefBois are definitely catching up here. And while that camp is still pushing in the top lane. Mudge gonna eat that Cursed Bullet. But look at this, they get the Imperious isolated out. Ollie on the backside, Mudge trying to survive. Dirk getting very low. Tribulation getting chased down here by Rabid Penguin. And they're able to get enough Shrine Monkeys to force BeefBois off of this. And that's very important for ReGen Phoenix, because they are giving up a lot here in the top lane. This camp is still moving, and Root Beer Guy's actually going to come up to help it. Arrow soaking mid before he goes up there. Meanwhile, down bot, ReGen Phoenix going to be able to put their 4-man to push in with this Punisher. And they're looking to get down the side lane so they can follow up here when this Punisher jumps in. Big macro call there. Very well done for ReGen Phoenix. And now here is the Punisher ready to jump. Does jump in, but it is on Tribulation. Silence comes out to at least slow that retreat. They think better of diving in on it. They've got all 5 down here. And instead, they'll just rotate to see if they can quickly clear this camp. Cool. You still have Arrow in the area. Quick camp steal for ReGen Phoenix. They still get a decent amount of damage on that front wall. Kind of opened it up for later in the game if big enough opportunity comes up for them to try to end. Well, BeefBois is pretty even on levels still. They did get that top fort with that camp push and the rotation from Falstad. Bit of an unlucky spawn though, for them, as we do see the mid going to be the next shrine phase. Worth noting that oh, look out, Tribulation on the rotation. We will see the teleport in. That puts Dirk in a rough spot, but look at the blink heal to get out right at the last second. Blinking to Tracer, and they avoid Arrow's a big Rabo bomb there. Both teams will walk away, but uh-oh. ReGen Phoenix gotta be careful here. BeefBois is on a big rotation. Tracer gonna find somebody here. The spear goes in onto Arrow, and everybody gonna pop whatever ults they have left here. Avalanche is gonna isolate out Arrow, and he's gonna be able to just exit stage south there. There is no stage up and down, I suppose. Left and right. Both team's gonna settle for grabbing their own camps, it looks like. Meanwhile, down bot, big push. Gonna get through that other turret. The other cannon that hadn't been taken down there by the Punisher. Gonna get a little bit of damage on this keep. Meanwhile, Invasion up top. Falstad is still down bot, and Imperius is just coming back from the Hall of Storms here. ReGen Phoenix gonna get themselves another camp steal up top, and they have now painted all of these maps red for the moment. Tracer goes in with the spear, but look out, big Ravo into the stun. That's going to be a big kill for ReGen Phoenix, as now they look for more. They're able to look for more here. They get the fort, but they leave the well. All right, they wanted to be on position for getting that XP in mid for 16 and starting the shrine as early as possible. The well up top doesn't really matter too much with this objective in the mid. Get an early lead here for sure. Now Imperius is now up and is headed here. By the time he gets here, ReGen Phoenix is going to have this pretty well secured. Not sure if BeefBois want to try to contest this too much. Now they're only 5 away, and BeefBois realizing that, going to call off the potential contesting of the shrine. Level 16 now in for both squads. Not a whole lot of team fighting here so far. 3 of 4 on the kill count. But as this Mortar Punisher pushes in, we may see something here. Imperius is down bottom lane, but is potentially looking at the flank. gonna think better of it and go around the long way as they do successfully bait the Punisher over the wall, get it onto the keep, where they can really deal some good damage to it. And ReGen Phoenix not really finding anybody to isolate here. They're gonna start putting their damage on the keep as they bait it down to the bot and finish off the Punisher. But they have found Tribulation out here, but we will see canceled teleport there. Thinking better of going in there, but oh, look at the root off of that lurking arm. They're trading 2 for 1 right now. Diablo's souls get traded out for now 3, make it 4 kills. ReGen Phoenix. Big team fight win here. Should allow them to push in and take this keep. And with the death timers here, could they look to go core? It looks like they might be. They're going to pop Odin. So Rabbit seems to think that they can. And they're going to start pushing down. Welcome back, everybody. I apologize for the DC before we were so rudely interrupted by my internet breaking up. Here's where we were in the game. ReGen Phoenix just taking the 4 for 1. And now they are looking to push down this core. Can they finish it here? And they start to push down the core. They're going to get the pulse bomb out onto Smart Killer. Mud's going to dive in. And they get the kill. Almost as if I've seen this before. Core is falling. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be in game number 2 and the series going over to ReGen Phoenix. Wow, I was so close. I was so close, and yet so far. I can't bring up a proper match summary screen. This one almost fits, though. As we take a look at the stats here for this game number 2. Big damage coming out here from Rabid Penguin. Both with the siege and with the hero damage. But not a whole lot of team fighting in this one. Just a lot of macro oriented play once again. But I got a quick interview that we can do here. We got a couple members sitting in here already waiting for us very patiently. And here we are with Rabid Penguin. How's it going, man? Long time no see.
Hey, how are you?
Well, you know, I was doing pretty good right up until about 10 seconds before that match ended.
Yeah, that sucked. No! That's rough timing.
Well, you know, you guys had gotten the 4v1. You guys had it pretty secure. I'm pretty sure everybody had put it together. But congrats on the big win. I gotta say that game number 1 was extremely clean from you guys.
Yeah, it felt clean. I don't know, you know, what our motivation was there. We kind of voted as a team not to play Hanamura this set, and then Arrow mumbled something, and we ended up playing on Hanamura. So I don't know if just the rest of the team trying to prove a point or what happened, but that was a fun way to end up there for sure.
Well, it certainly worked out for you guys. You were able to dominate that first game, and then you come out here in the second game. You guys were able to get Gazlo through to the that draft, and then you started to see the globals come out. What were you guys thinking as they were picking this global heavy comp?
That's a good question. We were kind of waiting for all the pieces to fall into place. We noticed that they had a lot of CC and a lot of displacement, so we were a little worried about that. Like, you know, what happens if a May Snowball sends like half the team one direction, and then Falstad Gus the other half the team the other direction, and you have a Brightwing Emerald Wind in the middle just for good measure. So we weren't sure, you know, exactly how that would all play out, but definitely interesting. A lot of stuff to watch out for.
Yeah, I had a hard time picking an MVP from that game number 1. You know, of course, you got a lot of damage and a lot of kills with the follow-up there from Mudge, but also Mudge kind of putting a clinic on how to play Garrosh. Not surprised, of course, by his ability to toss people in and isolate them, but his masterful use of throwing the enemies away from you guys, especially on a lot of those sentinel points, was really impressive.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, the reflex or the urge is to toss people in and try to kill them, but equally important, especially over those points, to throw them away. So Mudge definitely had really good positioning that game and helped us out a lot by just making space.
Alrighty, well, looking at the standings before this, you guys were sitting at kind of the bottom end of that like 7-way near tie, like you're all within a game of each other on points. Now you get to leapfrog all of those teams, and you guys end up now, I believe, in 3rd place off of that win in terms of points. How are you guys feeling in terms of your play? Yeah, that's quite a jump. 9th to 3rd off of that one domination. How are you guys feeling right now with your place in this division?
I mean, I wasn't even aware that we had, that was the effect on our positioning within the standings. And I think the team as a whole isn't super focused on, 4th versus 5th or, where exactly we're at. I think we'd be really happy to make playoffs and to play in those. And, kind of how the seeding falls around that is maybe less of a focus for us. But, once we get to the playoffs, I think we're hoping to have our games figured out by that point in the season and be able to put on some good sets.
Alrighty, well, it was good to see you guys come out tonight and play really well. Congrats on the win. And before I let you go, do you have any shout-outs?
I'll flip it over to Rec. He actually hopped in here as well, and I don't want him to sneak out without saying anything. So Rec, you can take over for the shout-outs.
Yeah, so I'll do the shout-outs. Shout out to Arrow for forcing me to come in here because I was half paying attention, and then he was literally calling me on my cell phone, saying, "Dude, go in there," and I was like, "Oh, you could have told me in voice," but he did. So shout out to him and the rest of the team, of course. BeefBois as well. It was a fun set, I would say. A lot of good play from them. And then I'll say my friends Hannah and Nick for watching. Well, Nick didn't watch, but whatever. So yeah, those are my shoutouts at least.
Alrighty, well, thanks for hopping in, guys. I apologize again for the last second dip, but I was glad I could at least record the last of it and put together something on as far as a final video for y'all. But congrats on the win. And congrats on jumping up in the standings as well. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the cast as well.
Yeah,
course.
absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, Jake.
Yes.
Alrighty, I'll see you later, guys.
So long.
See ya.
Bye. Alright, well, that's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for coming out and watching. Apologize for the hiccups. Got to look at what's going on with my internet. But we'll figure it out. But until I see you guys next time, I think I got another cast set up Wednesday. But my team, ReGen Divine, going to be playing tomorrow night on Arrow's stream over on twitch.tv/ArrowRG, so come check us out as we play against Puns Upon a Time. Big match in Division D West for this week. But until I see you guys next time, I am Jason, and for the Nexus Gaming series, I hope you guys have a good night.